I want to spin you a yarn, or tell you a tale. Follow with me, if you will. I went off for an interview today, and I come home to check the mail, and I've got this bill from Comcast. I'd love to be able to show it to you. Like, is my address on here? Okay, no, it's not. I have this overage charge here, one-time overage charge of $90. Like, what the fuck? But if you notice at the top of my bill is literally just $86. So the question then becomes, what did I do that mandated an overage charge that was greater than my bill? So I get on the phone with Comcast, call them up, and I'm like, hey, here's what's going on. And to my credit, not to sound racist, and I know every racist statement starts with not to sound racist, but it's a foreign guy. And he's explaining to me how my plan calls for 1,024 gigs of data every month. But if I go over that amount, then they charge me $10 for another 50 gigs, which sounds kind of reasonable, actually. The problem is they don't tell you when you're going over. It's just, oh yeah, you went over, so we had to charge you. And sometimes they slip it in. It's like $10, it's $20. I don't even notice it. It's just like whatever. Today, however, my bill was $90 over. So I immediately caught that. So you're telling me that I needed to get another 400 gigs of data at a cost of $90. So the guy's like, look, there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. I was like, okay, look, not mad at you. Don't want to argue with you. You're doing your job. You're reading from a script. That's all you can do. I get that. No problem. Connect me to somebody who can help. So he's like, well, he's going to say the same thing that I said. I was like, you know what? That's fine. You're reading from a script. At this point, I'm saying a thing, and then you're saying a thing, and then I'm saying my thing a little differently, and then you're repeating your thing. The only thing I need to hear from you right now, Charlie, is please hold Mr. Harris while I connect you to my supervisor. So he puts me on hold. I listen to the crap music. The supervisor gets on, and I explain the situation to him. He's like, well, what we can do is I'll offer you a $10 credit, and I'll take $10 off your bill every month for the next year. I was like, well, that sounds fantastic, but you're just going to hit me with an overage fee, and there's no way for me to tell how much I've gone over. I'm just taking your word for it at face value that I need to accept this $10 overage charge. He's like, well, you get 1,024 gigs. It's like, but if I were to sign up for the unlimited plan, which is $50 a month, that would get me unlimited. He says, yeah. I was like, so why wouldn't you just say, hey, dude, you've gone over 5 times. We're going to sign you up for the unlimited plan this month. And if you want to cancel, that's fine, but you owe extra money. So we'll do you this solid by doing that for you. He says, no, I can't do that. I was like, okay, I kind of get that because that's changing my plan without my consent. But at the same time, you're charging me this money without my consent, but you can't change my plan without my consent. So ultimately, he's like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing anybody can do. I'm the supervisor in this department. And I'm like, look, man, I don't want to be one of those people who dangle my customer service, well, my business over your head and say, if you don't fix this, I'm going to switch services, because Comcast is the best. It is what it is. Comcast has the best service. Their customer service is shitty, but they have the best service. It's like, I don't want to do that, but you're going to need to connect me to like the customer loyalty department or something, because there's no way you can't do something for me. And he's like, no, there's nothing anybody can do for this. I'm sorry. I was like, you know what? Do what you have to do. Make a note in my account that I've accepted your $10 or whatever it is, and just know that I'm going to pursue other means. He was like, well, there are no other means to pursue. I was like, you know what? And that might be fine. This might be a futile effort. I might spend an hour on the phone or on the internet trying to work this out, and nothing comes of it. But know that I am going to look further into it. He says, okay, thank you for calling Comcast, blah, blah, blah. His name was Isaac, by the way. Have a good day. I sign in the Comcast on the computer, and I started a conversation with a girl's name whom I cannot pronounce. It's like Kershank or some shit like that. And I'm giving her the rundown. Here's what's going on. Why are my overage charges more than my bill? I'm disputing these charges. What can we do to ensure customer loyalty? So she says, hold on, be right back. I'll review the account. She comes back a few minutes later and she's like, well, we're just going to waive that $90. Don't worry about it. Thank you for being a Comcast customer. I was like, you know what? I fucking like that. Can I get a reference number? I need something so when it's not reflected on my next bill, not saying that they won't, knock on wood, but if something goes wrong and it's not reflected, I need to be able to recall back to that and say, see, according to your people, this was going to be taken care of. So she gave me the ID number. I saved the transcripts on my computer, so if I have to go back and look at it, I can go back and look at it. But when I was done and my bill was down to a reasonable amount where I felt like it should be, especially since when I got my tax money back, I paid like 3 or 4 times what the bill was so that it could stay at a negative number. I wanted them to owe me money. So as they finally come out of that, the money pit that I had them in, this $86 charge is about right. I'm fine with it. So, to be a dick, I called back to Comcast and I was trying to talk to Isaac because Isaac told me he couldn't do anything. There was nothing that could be done, and the best they could do was this $10 off a month every month for a year kind of deal. And I wanted to talk to Isaac and be like, yeah, what now, you punk bitch? Took care of it. But, no matter how much I flattered him and said, oh yeah, I just want to touch base with Isaac and let him know that I appreciated his efforts. Anything I could say to get him on the phone, it didn't work out. But, man, it would have been a small moral victory for me. But the victory is actually in this bill doesn't count anymore. It's like I opened it up. I was amazed. What is my total? My total is like $176, $163 and some change. That doesn't make any sense for 1 month. Can I show you? Can I do it without showing my address? I can't. Look at that. That makes no sense whatsoever. $163 for 1 month of service. Ridiculous. I'm not buying it. I just don't. And for them to say that I went 450 gigs over my limit in the month of February, which is the shortest month of the year. But I digress. Don't matter. It's taken care of. My mama taught me a squeaky wheel gets oil. So all I had to do was raise up enough fuss, kick up enough hell. Somebody was going to do something for me. So here we are. It's now a little after 4. I'm sitting around waiting for my wife to come home. When she gets home, I'm going to just relax with her. I miss her. She's out in the workforce now. And, she makes the donuts. I'm at home oiling up the wheels. So I'll just be happy to have her home and we can chill out. This weekend's gonna be nice because there'll be nothing to do this weekend. She'll wrap up her schoolwork and it'll just be me and her laying up under each other all weekend. So looking forward to that.